Due to ShowPro's aggressive copyright takedown policy, this re-upload will be audio only, with the fully edited version available to my patrons, link in the description below. Before we get to the last of the Pokemon movies from the original series, let's take a look at another extended TV special, Raikou the Legend of Thunder. I didn't know this one existed until I was in college, but I was still ecstatic to learn about it nonetheless. Why, you ask? Do I really need to point it out? It's right there. Anyway, this was a very personal experience for me because Crystal was my very first Pokemon game, and Raikou was the first legendary Pokemon I ever caught, so I was super excited to see how the anime adaptation would go. The results? Let's take a look. A group of Team Rocket thugs and scientists have just finished testing out a new weapon that absorbs electric attacks. Their aim? Capture the legendary Pokemon Raikou. Meanwhile, Gold and Crystal, yes, I know that's not what they're called in this, but I'm going to call them that anyway because why would you do this to me? Have just met up at a Pokemon Center after not seeing each other since they first left Professor Elm's lab. Eventually, the two run into a pair of rocket thugs as they attempt to capture Raikou, and our new heroes must prevent Raikou from falling into their clutches. Realistically, there's not that much to this special. The plot is totally straightforward, there's no message or theme behind any of it, and some of the plot points feel a bit stale and overused, especially within the context of the Pokemon universe. The villains have no unique qualities to them and are totally disposable, though for some reason it was kind of fun watching this guy taunt Gold all the time. Fortunately, the dialogue manages to carry most of the story pretty well. I'm surprised by how much I like the opening act where Gold and Crystal are reminiscing about their early childhood and getting their first Pokemon. There's a lot of chemistry between them and they actually feel like old friends, and the fact that the writers just straight up included romantic interest instead of just implying it was kind of refreshing and surprisingly cute. That's not to say that the characters themselves are all that interesting, but they're pretty competently written overall. Except for this guy. He's pretty annoying, even by comic relief standards. I did like Yusin much more in this special than I did in the main TV series though, since he wasn't a giant prick this time. And of course I liked that Typhlosion got a ton of personality. That beautiful fire badger always seems to pull through for me no matter where I see him. Raikou is pretty fun to watch as well because the wealth of battling knowledge and intuition he's picked up over his lifetime is on full display. The animation really isn't anything noteworthy, even in comparison to the previous TV special. It's definitely a step up from the usual quality of the TV series, with some cool explosion effects and some great shots of Raikou charging across the battlefield, but there's not much to speak of aside from that, and the editing can be a bit awkward sometimes as well. There were some nice little details, like how the Pokédex's picture of Raikou is actually just an artistic representation since he's a mysterious legendary Pokemon with very little known about him, but these moments are very few and far between. Not much to say about the soundtrack either. It's there and it has its hype moments, but most of it is just stuff that's been rehashed from the TV series. There's nothing overtly bad about this special aside from a certain someone, and it's pretty exciting for most of its run, so I can still recommend watching it, but it's hardly an amazing special either and has very little to it besides a generic legendary Pokemon story. I would actually recommend watching it subbed and in its original broadcast form though, because the English translation broke it up into 3 normal-length TV episodes to use as the opening episodes of Pokemon Chronicles, and it cut out some of the content to fit the time slot. Anyway, that's it for this video. Tomorrow we'll move on to the final movie from the original Pokemon series, Pokemon Heroes. And don't forget to check out my other content while you wait. Special thanks to Jan Rogalski, Rourke JJJ User, and all my other patrons for their generous support. My name is Ember, and I'll see you next time.